What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Every Week We Follow. Gary, you in a singing mood?
Every week we follow the boys in claret and blue. We even conquered Europe in 1982.
Anywho, this is the Liverpool preview, midweek, under the lights, Wednesday night. I'm hoping to go. Gary, you're going, aren't you? You're going?
Yes, definitely.
This wasn't meant to be for a month, by the way. This was meant to be in March.
March 12th is supposed to be, mate.
Yeah, it was obviously rearranged because of Liverpool's successes in the Carabao Cup. Let's quickly go over, I think, any team news. As far as I'm aware, Conte's still out, Barkley out, Onana out. It looks like Boubacar is a doubt after coming off 15 minutes in against Ipswich. Bit of an innocuous
big loss that is, mate. I hope it's okay. I mean, it hasn't been confirmed yet, so maybe he will play. But
it means we got to throw Mings back in there in more minutes again. Just manage it. We're having to bring in players who have been out for lengthy spells, and it's just.
Well, I mean, he's got. I assume he will start with Disasi and Mings, and you've got Bogard to potentially replace one of those if something goes horribly wrong.
Did you play? I'm just thinking about their right hand side. I'm thinking about Salah running it. Is he played Digne? I'm guessing he plays Digne. He's going to be better at manning Salah than Maatsen.
Well, like you've touched upon, Maatsen isn't quite there defensively at the moment. He gets run ragged, so I think he will start with Digne. Digne will hopefully handle Salah a little bit better than he can. And to be fair, in the game at Anfield, I mean, we were in the game, mate. But again, defensive mistake from Carlos gives them a second goal and it was game over. But we had chances to do it. So I expect us to kind of frustrate Liverpool like we did at Anfield, and but can we take chances when we create them? That's going to be the question, because against Liverpool, if you don't, you're screwed, aren't you? They've got too much attacking firepower, because you can try and control Salah all you want, but if Luis Diaz starts and you've got Gakpo to come on potentially, I know he might be a doubt, but
I think he's out. I don't think Gakpo's coming on.
But then you've got Nunez, who's got pace, and but he's just like an Ollie
Watkins. And he's like our John Duran. RIP. But we go on.
Alexis McAllister in midfield, who can
I know
you've got the they've got a good team. I mean, I think saving grace is that no Curtis Jones, so he won't be playing.
I'll tell you what worries me. It's just a simple ball over the top from Alexander-Arnold. That's what worries me, is the amount of times we've been caught out by that. And with Disasi's not the fastest. Mings has got a bit of pace, but he could easily twing something.
For as long as I can remember, in the none too distant past and future, like Robertson and Trent have caused us no ends of problems, because that's the great thing about Liverpool, is that they can attack from both flanks and you're going to be under pressure. That ball over the top is always there because they've got pace in behind. And so it's something we have to be aware of, But to be fair, we've had 2 draws with Liverpool at home last 2 seasons, and probably worthy draws, So I think
they were terrible. They were awful, by the way. Second half against Wolves, they were lucky to come away with a win. I mean, that's what champions do, right? They were very lucky. They were very lucky.
They're in the business end now, where it's just about getting the results. So win ugly, and as we are now, it's not about performance. Like, obviously, you want to see us play nice, and we've played some decent football, but now it's about getting the results, mate. Like, we've got
that ball, like you said in the last video, it just put the ball in the back of the net more times than the other team. But just
I expect to see chalk crayon drawings on the wall of the Villa dressing room for Ali, like just going, ball goes here. Big arrows. We did it when the season we got relegated. Just get the whole end with arrows all pointing to the sticks, like goes inside the net. So
obviously Martinez back four's pretty much decided. I'm guessing it'll be Garcia, Disasi, Mings, and like I said, maybe probably Dean. Holding will, I guess, be McGinn and Tielemans.
Yep.
I don't think we have any other options. Bogard, the only other option, maybe Bogard, but not sure.
I mean, unless Kamara gets through a fitness test and actually plays, because I'd love to have him back in midfield, mate. I think that we.
I don't think I don't think he risk it with.
No, I don't.
The amount of games
he's come off as a precautionary thing. He's probably going to play in 2 games in a week with a dodgy hamstring's not probably not the sensible thing.
5 games in 13 days over this period, including the Ipswich games. So there's a lot to come. But then does Rodgers start again?
I think he will. I think, like I said to you in the last episode, mate, he was.
I love him. He needs a rest. He needs a rest.
Yeah.
Who's on the left?
I mean, I would start Rashford, mate. I would. I think he's done enough.
A question for you: Can JJ play where Rodgers plays?
Yes.
So that for me makes more sense. Put Rashford on the left and put Ramsey in where Rodgers would be, and give Rodgers a rest. Or imagine Rodgers coming on 60 minutes.
Yeah, half an hour to terrorise.
Yeah, the team's tired.
Right. And it's just ultimately, I agree with that. I think you could absolutely replace. The replacement would be Rashford for Rodgers. Play JJ in that role and let Rashford be out on the left coming in, because surely. Rodgers isn't invincible. He's been. I get it, because he's arguably our biggest threat and our biggest ball carrier, right? But last 3 games massively inconsistent. Brilliant against Spurs, but against Ipswich just looked laggy. And against Wolves, mate, he was terrible against Wolves. He was non-existent. He had played the whole game. So, he's got the minerals to be arguably anything he wants to be. Rodgers, I think he's a quality footballer, but. He can't. Surely his body can't continue playing every game, because you just don't get the level of performance. So as much as you want that thing, you've got to trust other players. And I'd love to see him have a little bit of a rest, not a dropping thing. Like you say, mate, I'm going to bring you on 60 minutes. You're going to replace for Rashford and go and do what Marcus and Asensio have done in the last couple of games. Change the game for us, win us the game. But I've got a sneaky feeling that it will start with him. I do.
Yeah. And then the other 2, is it Watkins up top, I guess, and then is it Marlon or Asensio?
I mean, this is a tough one because I think both have done really well. I was impressed. I've been impressed with Marlon. His movement off the ball, his direct, offers much more than Bailey does. Like straight away, and I think,
as always, guys. By the way, if you don't agree with this, pop it down in the comments. We always forget this. Comments, subscribe, all that malarkey. So
please do. We like it. I think he would, with not being in the Champions League squad, do you start him and give him the game time? Knowing that you've got Champions League games coming, and probably Asensio and Rashford are probably going to start in those. I think with the experience that they've got, so I think he'll probably go with Marlon again, and he'd be justified, mate, because I thought he played okay against Ipswich.
And like I said, I think we're going to need those kind of 2 top type of dynamic to try and move Liverpool's defence, because if you leave just Watkins up against like Van Dijk
you're not going to win that battle, are you? You have to have someone in and around Watkins, and Marlon can do that perfectly. And I think if you have Rashford playing as well, Liverpool will definitely question that pace down that side, and it'll be and if Trent's playing and he's playing right back,
it will be bombing on.
I'd fancy Rashford against him more. It
space galore.
So it makes, and Liverpool are a good side, right? But I think, as you mentioned, they were very poor against Wolves in the second half. But they're not defensively sound. That as much as they've got that you can get in around them and you can score goals against them. The problem is they're clinical and they will take chances if they get them. So they are doing what we cannot do, and outscoring teams.
That's probably the downside with playing Rashford, is Dean will get no protection. At all.
Which is why I don't think he'll make those changes, mate. I think he will stick to what we know, because he'll want to keep it. I guess the only changes come is if we are getting battered. You make them anyway, but ultimately he's going to want to keep it tight for as long as possible, and you'll probably see the same kind of format of bringing Asensio and Rashford on with half an hour to go, because I think he's probably saving them for the Champions League games, if I'm honest.
I agree. I mean, it has created an impact. It just hasn't quite got to the point where we've managed to win the game. It works against Spurs, but not against.
I think Emery will probably, if say Asensio and Rashford come on in this game and change the game, and we win the game, right? Let's say, I know it's a pipe dream, right? But let's say we do win the game and they change the game, then it's justification for them maybe starting against Chelsea. Like you've got to, has to be incentive for these things, because you don't want to disrupt the squad too much, and it should be about, for me, if you're playing well and you're changing games, then obviously you're going to get that.
Well, it's sort of down to the players, right? Like, as in, what do they like? Obviously, every player, I'm guessing, wants to play, but Asensio's been around the block. He knows what he's here for, the job he's here to do. Rashford's here for a short period. And again, just needs to do what he can do, stay fit. That's probably really key for him. So again, they might not be itching to start. Like they might be happy.
No. Well, the thing is, Asensio has changed the tempo of our play on both games that he's come on. Now he might not be fit enough to do that for 90 minutes, so it might be a case of him just coming on and doing that cameo role because
it's probably better that way round, right?
Yeah, 100%, mate. Because actually, we have tired in games. That's been our biggest thing, and I think it's not cool. We haven't got the results in the last couple of games, but we've looked much better in the second half. Again, we did against Ipswich, we did against Spurs. Like where usually we tire when you go, this game's over. And there's not going to happen. Whereas that dynamic of them pair have definitely changed it. So hopefully, if they do the same, they can come on and ultimately make the real difference and get the result, because again, it's a pipe dream, but beat Liverpool, beat Chelsea, then it makes up for the terrible performance against Ipswich.
It's just not. I can't. No,
I just can't. Be positive. Come on, we can do it. We just
onto. I'm too tired to be positive, but just onto predictions then, based on that. From that, so what are you thinking?
Mate, we're going to concede a goal against Liverpool, aren't we? There's no doubt about that. I can't say a clean sheet. So I'm gonna. Do you know what? I'm gonna go 1-1. A draw. I don't think we'll win the game.
Obviously, I can't. As a Villa podcast, we cannot predict. Okay, I mean, are you allowed to predict?
Well, you can go against us, but would you bet against us?
Yes.
Yes, we're so inconsistent. We're probably going to get hammered 4-0.
Well, we're so inconsistent. We'll probably win 3-0. I don't know. Yeah,
mate. I hope we can do a post-match reaction to this, and we've won the game 3-0. Watkins has scored a hat-trick.
My prediction before I came on here was a 2-1 Liverpool win. But I'm going to go with a Desmond. I'm going to go with the 2-2. Okay. I think I went that on Spurs, didn't I? And it almost happened.
Almost happened.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Desmond. I'm gonna say we're gonna get a point, which actually and to come out of this game, right? So just on this, if we draw this game, how do you feel?
I'm still seething from the Ipswich result. I think it's if we'd have beaten Ipswich, it'd be a great result. A point against Liverpool. Yeah. But if we do get a point, it means we have to beat Chelsea just to be in contention, mate. We talked about it in the last show about
it's not even like we're saying right, we've done it, or like we're there. It's just keep up.
It's consistency, isn't it? Because mate, we've got it in us to win these two games.
Well, the problem for me is we draw against Liverpool, Newcastle win, Chelsea win, Forest win. We're back where we were.
Yeah.
We'll be
5 points off the pace then, and that means the pressure's on because to even get into the Europa League.
Like I said, we're lucky we've got to play all these teams. We've got Chelsea to play, we've got Forest to play, we've got Newcastle to play. But it's just like, and I think, I can't.
You mentioned it, I think, in the last show where we get to the point now where it just doesn't feel like it's going to happen. Like we need to go on a run of games, and
too late.
We stopped starting all the time. Like we've had those great results against Arsenal away. We beat Everton away, and you go, okay, push on now. Let's get there. And then
we've just had the run of games. We've just had the run of games.
We need to win. To
go into these games with a bit more positivity, like West Ham, Wolves,
Ipswich.
We should be beating them.
And
it's really
like you say, 9 points up for grabs there, and we come away with 2. It's
twos. No, four's a minimum.
Drawing a win. Because if you had 4, we'd still be in the mix. We'd still be only a couple of points behind them, and now it's like.
Well, you know what? We'd be in a better position if we'd won one of them and lost the other 2.
100%, mate.
So it's stuff like that, and like like, yeah, it's just.
But like you said, we draw the game. If we draw the game, if we do draw on Wednesday, that's then 13 games unbeaten at home. But
yeah, but I suppose at that point it then goes. It's then the question of how did we draw it? So like, it's then a question of was it we lost it? Was it that we didn't really look at it and they were there for the taking, or did we come back into it and we managed to get, like with Arsenal, did we do something like that? And if we did something like that, then you go into the Chelsea game a bit buoyed.
Or do we go 3-0 up and then lose 4-3 or something like that? Do you know what I mean? And you go,
oh God, right.
Anyway, defensive frailties are going to cost us again, no doubt, mate. Liverpool will have watched everything that we've done so far this season and know our weaknesses. If we end up going a goal behind and chasing the game, and he makes the usual substitution of bringing Matson on, Salah will light up and kind of know that he'll fancy himself 1v1 in that situation. Okay. So if we have to chase the game, I think it could end up in quite a heavy defeat for us, because I think we'll fall apart. So I think if we're going to get anything from
an early goal is really
we need
important.
To score first.
First 25 minutes, we need to score. And hot take.
What did you say then? Sorry, you broke up.
Hot take.
Hot take. My hot take, I'm going to keep with it, mate. Tielemans from a 30-yard out. He's been trying. He almost did it against Ipswich twice. He had 2 deflected shots, and I thought this is the one. So my hot take is Tielemans to score 1-1. That's what I'm going for, because I just know Watkins is going to miss about 8 chances to put us in front. And
I'm going for a 2-2. Watkins to score and Rashford to come off the bench and score.
I'd love that. That'd be great.
Last half hour, 2-1, 2-2 would be. I mean, it'd be great if it was to 3-2 or for us to win 2-1, but who knows?
Mate, I'm just on that. At this point of the season last year, when we played them at home, right, and we come back and drew 3-3, it felt like a win because every point
we've got to be pushing. The key for this game is we've got to be in it in the last 20.
Yeah,
like we have to be. If we're out of it, we're out of it. But it's a case of we need to be like level pegging in the last 20. We need to be there. And I think if we do bring on Rashford, Asensio like we have, and we turn it on like we have, but I don't know, mate.
I'm living in hope, but hopefully this will be the game that galvanises us and we go on the run and we get to where we're so close to being.
I'm just going to cut this bit from all the other videos where we said the same thing. Put it in the end. It's the same thing.
At least we're consistent, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, we just want us to do well. Come on, Villa.
We're more consistent than Villa. But anyway, brilliant. Well, thanks everyone for joining. And if you made it to here, thank you as always. Like, subscribe, comments. We love the chat. We love the banter. And yeah, I mean, this is obviously, by the time this goes out, it'll be tomorrow, the Liverpool game. And then we'll do a post-match Liverpool, and we might combine it with a preview for the weekend against Chelsea. So
yeah.
Oh my God, so many games. Mate, I'm going to be knackered these couple of weeks.
Right, this week's a bit intense because of the fixtures. Yeah. It's just all Liverpool's fault because, like I said, we should have only had 2 games this week and we should have had a week to prep.
Well, and also us progressing in the FA Cup doesn't help either. So that's kind of like throwing another one in there. But anyway, as always, guys, take care. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.
Every week we follow the boys in claret and blue. Peace.
Unfortunately, bye.